oddly difficult for me to start this video. I have a lot of things to say, but I also don't know where to start. And it reminds me of myself half a year ago when I wanted to publish my first video on YouTube after a long break. I didn't know how to tell my story despite having a lot of ideas. So yeah, here I am today, out and about in Amsterdam to get a bit of inspiration as well as encouragement to start this video. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. Hello, this is Ha from The Vegan. I'm a vegan food nerd currently living in the Netherlands. So, as you already saw from my thumbnail and title, I've decided to go back to school this October after a couple of years working on my food business. Before I tell you everything about this decision, I feel that it's only fair to give you a sort of quick background check. So when I turned 18, I studied at the university in Vietnam for 1 year and then spent about 7 months studying German before moving to Germany, where I lived like a year. The plan was to get into one of the university in Germany, but my German was so terrible, so I didn't make it and everything didn't go as planned. I then decided to go to the Netherlands to study in English because my English was a lot better than my German back then. Another reason why I moved to the Netherlands was because of my husband. Well, my boyfriend back then. He didn't want to continue our long distance relationship. We already dated like a year long distance when I lived in Germany. If I cannot go to the university in Germany, I have to go back to Vietnam. So we just decided that it was the right choice for me to move to the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, I studied for 3.5 years at a University of Applied Sciences in Utrecht. And during my first year at the university, I figured out that I have a strong passion for food. And as a result, I started my food business a few months before I graduated instead of finding a job in the creative industry. Running a whole business on my own was an extremely hard job. Eventually, I burned myself out badly. My whole body just gave up. I got a lot of physical pain everywhere in my neck, my back, my arm, this part. I couldn't walk for like 5 minutes. If I sit for too long, like about 30 minutes or something, I will have a severe pain in my back. So I have to lay down and rest. Ooh. No. Shit. Yeah, let's go. If you have the opportunity to not burn yourself out, make sure that you grab that opportunity, because burning yourself out is seriously not a nice experience at all. And because of burnout, I unfortunately had to close down my business and take a year off to recover. Well, I have been a home cook for 18 years, and I would definitely consider myself a pro one though. My mom first taught me how to cook when I turned 10, and since then, I do think that I have cooked every day without missing a single one. But if I have to be honest with you, the first 10 years of my cooking journey, I hated it so bad. While all of my friends met up at 9 a.m. to hang out, I had to cook for the whole family. I wasn't allowed to go out if I haven't finished cooking. And of course, because of that, I felt that I missed out a lot of things when I arrived later. But now, as an adult, I don't have that FOMO feeling anymore. And to be honest, I would rather stay at home, finish my cooking, and then arrive later. As I mentioned before, my interest in food started to bloom when I moved out to live abroad. And gosh, I couldn't believe that it's been almost 8 years since today I told myself that I definitely want to build up a career in the food industry. But during all the years I worked with food, I always feel like I lack a lot of knowledge about the thing I'm passionate about. What I know about food are mainly the taste, the texture, and the cooking techniques. I can easily learn how to make difficult dishes like or even dishes from other cuisines except for croissant and injera. I admit that I still need to work a lot on these two dishes. For the rest, I do believe that there is rarely anything that I wanted to cook but failed to learn. But set aside all of those things, I never really knew the actual science behind all the dishes I learned myself to cook. It seriously gives me an ache. I don't like that feeling at all. So that's why last year, during the time when I stay at home to take some time to recover from my mental health, the urge to go back to school to learn about all the knowledge I think I lack just increased more and more every day. I finally decided to take a bold move and start everything all over again at 28 by applying for a second degree in food science. I actually had thought about going back to school for quite some time, but I never really dared to take action. And one of the biggest factors that kept me from doing that is actually money. In the Netherlands, you have to pay between 7,000 euros and 8,000 euros if you want to study for a second degree. I already have a bachelor's degree in creative business. If now I want to study more about food science, I will have to pay minimum 7,000 euros, and that's a lot of money considering our financial situation back then. Don't get me wrong though, we are not poor. My husband and I never considered ourselves poor at all because that's so unfair for the poor people to call ourselves poor. That's the biggest privilege we both have, and I will never ever stop being grateful for. But still, paying 7 to 8,000 euros for a second degree, if I can be honest, I never felt easy to do that. But now, with the plan of moving to Vietnam, as well as our better financial capacity, my husband suggested that I should go for it. He knew already that I always wanted to go back to school for food science. So when he suggested that I should just take the action and apply for the school, I appreciate it a lot. Without him recommending I take the step, I don't think I would ever dare to really do it. I was always afraid that spending 7,000 euros, 8,000 euros for a second degree could be a waste. Although I do know that the love for food I have is really strong, but I wasn't sure whether it's worth it to take another degree. You know what my husband said? He said, money is one thing, but it's also an investment for your future, and self investment in education is never gonna be a waste. So, yeah, I guess timing is the most suitable answer for the question why I chose to go back to school now but not earlier. Our financial condition is a lot better now. We are going to move to Vietnam where the living cost is a lot lower than in the Netherlands, and that will come really handy in terms of saving more money for the tuition fees. We already made a brave move of moving all the way to Asia as a family. So if I take another brave move to go back to school, it's not gonna hurt, especially with the support from my husband. Last but not least, logistically, going back to school when we moved to Vietnam is actually more convenient for me than going back to school for food science in the Netherlands. I don't have to travel a long distance to go to school every day, but if I went back to school like a couple of years ago in the Netherlands, it's not gonna be that convenient. The best school for food technology is all the way in the south. It would take me roughly 2 hours to travel one way to school. And if I have to do that every day for school, I'm gonna die. Seriously, it's a nightmare. I don't want to do that at all. I do actually have a lot of plans, at least for the upcoming 3 years. As of now, I'm still spending most of my day creating content, and I love it so much. So, definitely, I will continue doing it. But of course, with the main focus on food and food science topics, I have noticed the growth of my channel the last few weeks, and you don't know how much grateful I am for the people who decided to subscribe and support my channel as a micro creator. So yes, thank you. My channel is relatively small, so I cannot do any analysis of what people love to watch. So if you want to watch videos about some specific topics, feel free to let me know. Don't be shy. This could be me being too optimistic about my schedule, but I really love cooking for other people. Therefore, I would love to host pop-up dinner event for whoever comes to visit Vietnam and would like to experience Vietnamese dinner party that has not only authentic Vietnamese dishes but also full of nutrients. This is not going to be my main focus, but rather a passion project if I still have some free time besides school. As you can tell, I am extremely excited about the future. Not only that I'm gonna get back to my student life to study a lot of interesting things about food science, but also to move to Vietnam and show you more amazing vegan food over there. Who knows, maybe we will probably meet up in real life someday at my dinner pop-up. That would be extremely fun. But anyway, if you are still staying until here, thank you for watching, and until next time.
Bye bye.